December is a month of weddings. Most people save the wedding for the holidays. As much as we think the wedding is the most important part and the wedding gown for us ladies, there are other things which are more important than the wedding gown. Finding the maid of honor, for example, it's quite an experience after the wedding with the maid of honor. Today we are going to talk about our experience and maybe things that you consider or can consider while finding your maid of honor. Dr. Grace, you're welcome to the show.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
Okay, how are you?
We are fine.
Yeah.
I want to hear from you why and how you picked your maid of honor.
Okay, so that's quite interesting. A question that needs a lot of thought. But for my case, my maid of honor was my best friend at the time, and we had called ourselves Maid. That's the local language. That's maid of honor before even got boyfriends. Yeah, I used to call her my maid too, and she used to call me her maid.
Were you with that campus?
No. We met. Our lives crossed when we were still single.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So, why did you call her maid too? Well, before you were married, even before you met your boyfriend.
She was my friend, and we're Christians. We are the same fellowship, so we used to believe one time we'll get married, and yes, we believe it will be godly, it will be in church, and yeah, we just called ourselves maid anyways.
Do you think that all of us should use our best friends for our matrons? And
not really, not actually. I was still getting that side. I chose her because of that, and the time I got married, the time I was getting married, she seemed like it still came back to me anyways, because we are still praying the same way. We are not close because I was in a different university, she was in a different university, but we're still close. And it just came back to me, May too. And funny enough, she knew my husband before even me. So it seemed like she was the right person. But I feel like a matron should be just more than a best friend. Yes, your matron should be someone who knows you, who understands you, but not all best friends are suitable for that position.
Yeah, because there are other qualities.
There are other qualities, because on that day, being a maid of honor is just beyond that day. And even on that day, you need someone you can talk to. You need someone who understands your pain. As much as she was perfect as a maid of honor, but there's somewhere I felt like she could have actually been very helpful if she was just my best friend, helping me out in the background.
Doing the other things.
Yeah, doing the things, because you find there are things that I messed up on that day. Yeah.
Because there are some people who think that maybe a matron should be your sister, should be your auntie, or someone very close to you. But being your sister being a matron, my sister was my matron, and her being my matron, it affected me in a way that there are things that I thought she would have done, but she couldn't because she was always around me. If there's a mess in the background, if she was there, it wouldn't be there. Yeah,
she could be overseeing
the background
instead of So how was it like, apart from missing her on being a cover of the things that missed, how was it like having a sister as a maid of honor?
Yeah, it was in a way okay. Yeah, the advantage is that she knows you in and out. She knows she's going to like this, she's going to not like this, and you can easily tell her anything. But on that day, you miss her. On that day, you feel like telling her, go and do this, Paul, go and do this. But Nange, how can this thing happen when Paul is here? It's like, for example, in the morning, they brought for me my bouquet. The decorator, I think, forgot. They just brought for the maids, and then mine was not there. So if she was not my matron, she would have gone
and brought.
But we had to forge around and find something to replace the bouquet.
And on that day, the issue is sometimes if you go to a matron who, I also think like a maid of honor should be someone who has some experience, who has been on a wedding before. I don't know, because like me, the challenge I had with mine, we are all new. It was the first time we are
Or doing a
being
wedding.
here doing a wedding. I feel like I was a little bit better for her. I was also her maid of honor because I
you
had
already
some
saw the
experience. Because now you find that day we are all fighting to look good. That day, things were missing for me. Like, you know, as a matron, you have to carry like a needle.
Exactly.
You have to carry glue in case the shoe breaks.
She didn't
You have to
research.
carry things. There are things you have to carry, a pad just in case the matron, just in case the bride
Gets
bleeds
problems,
that time. You have to carry like emergency things. Your car bag. That's why matrons are usually
Have
holding those who bags. Those who bags have emergencies. But for my intro, you find my tummy was tied, and there was a like that thing that they used to tie was falling out.
And she didn't
And
know.
she looked at it. She had nothing to do.
She didn't know
because
what to
she
do
had
with it.
yes, she had,
Because
like
she
we're
didn't know
already
what it is
dancing.
for.
We're already dancing in the what? I'm moving. People are seeing it. It's recorded because I was putting on a golden thing. Like everything is there, and she just kept looking at it. If she had a razor,
she
could have just cut it and remove it. So when you check my video, all those things are there. Then somewhere we all got moody. So I feel like for matron, all those should be considered. You should do some revision when someone selects you. You should.
Also, they should be outspoken. Like you're able to stand up and say, "I'm not going to do this because my mugole is not comfortable." Because now that one happened also on my intro. My matron that time was not my sister, but there's a plan that we had organized to follow. Now the speaker, they're called the speaker. The MC, they did their own things. They didn't want my husband to talk. They didn't want my husband to do anything, even the ring. They didn't want him to touch me.
Wow.
You get it? So nothing. So she should be outspoken and able to, that this girl is going to fight for me to do what I want.
And the matron actually has authority on that day, because everyone will listen, at least for that two people have been matrons too. They always give me an ear. The parents like, oh, the matron. They assume
what is happening exactly.
Apart from that day, do you think a matron should be more than just like
just for that day? And that's why I introduced saying there are more important things, because a matron is most people choose just for that day, but the matron is for me, I think is very important on that day, second to your husband on that day, because after that the matron should follow you like very closely. She's the one to, when you have a problem, she should be the person you think about. I'm going to call my matron after that. And most people, they end up after some time, they're no longer even talking to their matrons. You find them looking for another best friend to talk to their problem. But the matron should be experienced in a way that she can be able to solve your problems. And that's why in church, they insist that a matron should be married. Because you can't solve problems if you have not been into.
Surely. I now get that point, because when I was getting married, they almost stopped me from having my matron as my matron. But
because you're not married.
Yeah. And I get why. Because when you get married, there are other things that come along the way, and you need a friend. Some things are beyond your husband. Some things you just need a friend, or to stand with you, to pray with you. So yeah, I feel like our brides, if you've not yet chosen a matron, consider that it should be someone who can pray with you, someone you can open up, someone you tell and they don't judge you.
They don't judge you. I became a matron before I was married. So my friend once called me after some time, and then she's telling me her problems, and then like, what? You pack your bags and got out of that. But I was not married. Right now, I could handle it differently. But that time I didn't know what. You have to pack your bags and go away from there. So it's better you choose someone who has experience. And even if they are not married, you get someone to fill in for them who is married as a matron. Don't just pick because the person is available. No. Also pick someone that you know will help you out.
Who educates you, who correct you when you're wrong, who will say, today you are wrong. Today it's not, you always don't have that friend who always be like, the guy is wrong, let's move away. Have that friend that will understand and is like, grace for your marriage today, please do this, apologize and all that. And also that day for matrons, now if someone has already chosen you and you're already there as a matron, please, that day, it's not your day, it's not about you. Let her come first. Think about her that day. Look at her. Is she smart? Is her makeup okay? Be open, be fine.
That's another point.
I think
there are
that's
people
very
whom you know
important.
that they will want to overshadow. For example, someone can just come, they want to wear the best dress.
Yeah.
They don't care whether the matron looks good or not.
Whether
the makeup,
braid.
Then like you, even if you forget your earrings, she doesn't care. But you, for her, as long as she's looking nice. I've seen that experience.
Yeah,
by
it
the way.
happens a lot of recent. I don't know why. The matron seems to be competing with the bride.
Yes, exactly.
Actually, when you're the matron, you should, if you find your bride is not, if it means sacrificing your own thing, do sacrifice it for the sake of the bride, because that's her day.
And
your
you know,
day
some
is
people, even you find like the matrons, somewhere be like, I find the matron, but that chick was looking, but her dress, and yet it was your job.
It was your job to help.
So let those people really mean something, mean a lot to you before you pick them as a matron.
Because it's actually an honor. That's why they call you maid of honor.
Maid of honor. Yeah.
It's really when someone puts you there, may never take it for granted. I've been a matron twice, and sorry, something I try. For the first one, she was my best friend, so it was easy. For the second one, we weren't really best friends, but when she insisted it's me she wanted, honored. I was honored. I did whatever I had to do. I didn't know her family members. I tried to know them. That's what's another thing. Because imagine you're the matron.
You don't know the mother.
You don't know the mother of the bride.
Yeah.
They'll be pushing her with a said, and you're looking the bride
and
is
you
always.
Don't know what is happening.
So I feel like they should also, you get to know the family members a bit. Okay, the important ones. Dad, mom, the important ones. Siblings. So at that day, you cover for her.
And you already raised that very important first point that I don't want people to miss it. When you ask someone to be a matron and they say no, I think you should respectfully also accept that. If they ask you to be a matron and you don't feel comfortable, because a maid of honor should be honored to be picked as to be a maid of honor. Like when you ask, wow, are you serious? Like you should be happy to be someone's maid of honor, not just to go when you've been forced and then you don't want to pay money, you don't want to do what. Like you should be happy to be picked as a maid of honor.
Yeah, and when you accept, please try to
do the work,
stand up for that position.
Yeah.
Yes, and also don't feel embarrassed to say no. I know in this season nowadays people look at money. If you have money, you might be someone's maid of honor anytime soon,
and that's a problem.
So, yes, not right. But if you choose to say yes, let it be a yes.
Yes, go with one heart.
Yeah,
and there are people who pick someone like you don't know them, they don't know you, and they decide to be, because the person is honorable, she has a successful marriage, you think she's very good in chat, she looks presentable, and she can talk. Should you do that?
That's not right, obviously. that's something me I couldn't go for, because it's not right.
Okay. So don't pick a person who doesn't know you. They should know you in and out. You have experience together, and then you can be a matron.
Sure.
Yeah.
There are lots of things. Because like we said, one point for sure I want our viewers to keep in mind is it's beyond, your maid of honor should be beyond that day. That's the one very important one. You be someone you call after when you give birth. You should be someone like they should walk this journey. Someone you should walk this journey with. For me, if I was to emphasize, that's one thing, and I'm glad my matron is still in the picture. I'm glad. I pray the other friends of mine that have honored me, I try. I'm not someone of phone calls. I'm not someone who be there, but for her sake, sometimes I'm like, just say hi to her. Just do this, check on her. When I have dreams with her, I take them serious because of that responsibility.
So don't leave your matron at the altar. Remember, the matron is very important in your journey of marriage. Because after that, she's the person you should go to, not before you go to other people. Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Grace. As you go for the weddings in December, please consider taking time to select the right matron who is going to walk this journey of marriage with you. Thank you so much for watching to the end. We are always honored to have you, to talk to you and share with you our experience. In case you've not subscribed, please subscribe and share this. It will help someone, it may help your friend, you never know. Have a blessed day. Goodbye.